This is a production of the Hardway HQ Podcasting Network.
Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Unfiltered here, hardwayhq.com. Via the Hardway HQ Podcasting Network, you can find this podcast through iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, the other stuff. There's so many different apps we're on, as well as the aforementioned hardwayhq.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter, Hardway HQ, Instagram, The Hardway HQ, see if there's any other one. Advertising concerns, hate mail, John at hardwayhq.com. That's Jon at, don't actually write at, use the A with the circles around it. Cool gimmick, cool shtick, cool deal, baby. John at hardwayhq.com. I'm Jon Harder here in the beautiful, luxurious Hardway HQ studios. I'm getting ready to record this Unfiltered. By the way, I just want to let everybody know that we not only release this through SoundCloud, but if you're on YouTube and you just want to listen to YouTube music or YouTube audio, I throw the episode of Unfiltered, only Unfiltered right now, audio portion, up on YouTube. So give that a check out. We are on YouTube at Hardway HQ. A lot of things going on with me, but I knew I had to come down here and do it Unfiltered because there's only one thing that matters to me in the history of my world, and honestly, it's always been like that. It always revolves around either wrestling, Hardway HQ stuff with the characters and crazy people that come around this place, but the number 3 thing is the New York Metropolitans. And the New York Mets, it is like Christmas, Hanukkah, birthday, and Boxing Day. I don't know, that's Canadian, but it all is rolled into one as the New York Mets officially have new owners, or should I say owner, as our long national nightmare is over. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Fred and Jeff Wilpon out as majority owners of the New York Mets, and in walks Steve Cohen, the real-life Bobby Axelrod. That is who, if you ever watch that show, Ballers, with The Rock. The Rock's character is based off Steve Cohen. And Steve Cohen is a hedge fund billionaire. He's worth, according to the dirt sheets, a.k.a. Google, $14.2 billion. The man is very wealthy. He's made a lot of solid investments. He's done a great job in business, and with the exception of a couple $100 million here or there. But Steve Cohen has been a lifelong Mets fan, and it took a while. I thought it was going to get done back in the winter of early 2020 before the world completely changed. Steve Cohen was looking to buy the Mets, and the deal fell through. It was a lot of shenanigans behind the deal, and it didn't happen then. I was so disappointed, but it took some time. We had to weed out some people. We also had to weed out that J-Rod connection, the Alex Rodriguez, Jennifer Lopez connection, and Steve Cohen, the man with the plan, the man with the billions and billions of dollars, 2.4 to be exact, gets the job done. And if you look at all the blocks that were in this guy's way, obviously the deal where he had to pay restitutions of $100 million, that went into play. The Wilpons obviously came into play because deep down in my heart, I feel like the Wilpons really wanted to sell to J-Rod. But regardless, it doesn't matter. Steve Cohen is the man. And even at the end of this whole thing, with Mayor de Blasio pulling his flim-flam work with the media, I might not pass it. And honestly, I was getting vibes. I was getting very angry. I was getting very upset at this because Mayor de Blasio, with everything going on with New York City, everything that's been crazy with New York, people are leaving by the truckloads and just a lot of not good things happening. Mayor de Blasio's focus on this Mets deal, and it's very reminiscent of last year with the AOC Amazon deal coming to Long Island City and Queens. Focused on that, and instead it would be creating jobs. Didn't happen. Ultimately, it's a frustrating situation. It really is. But I like to make jokes and say Steve Cohen actually greased the palm of de Blasio by donating $18 million to the New York Small Business Association, which I give him a lot of credit. I think that makes de Blasio happy. It makes New York happy. And now everything's been approved. Everything's been signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours, Steve Cohen, now the majority owner of the New York Mets. And, for me on Friday, I was going through a really tough day at the day job, and the second I got that news, I literally put on Meet the Mets. I played it the entire day. I played it the entire night, and just the angry Mets guy side of me might actually be dead, because now we come to play. And who knows what's going to happen in 2021. And yeah, Phil Mushnick wrote an article based on the season ticket situation with the Mets and the uncertainty of the season. The Mets don't want all their money. Look, I get it. It's business, and they want to make their money non-refundable any which way possible. But what I will say is, now we can focus simply on making the team better. Obviously, the plan is Sandy Alderson coming in as the president of the team, president of baseball operations. And the articles say they want to build an East Coast Dodgers. I just want them to be the first New York Mets. I want them to really focus not so heavily on analytics, because the way baseball is going, it's becoming nerds versus jocks. And Game 6 of the 2020 World Series really tells a story on that. But I've always wanted to do that. But to me, I think it shouldn't be that heavy in analytics, and a combination of just great drafting and great scouting, and then add in a major free agent, make a big splash, go get Trevor Bauer, go get JT Realmuto, get George Springer, get one of those three guys. And make sure we have a very heavy-duty, passable catcher. And no disrespect to Tomas Nido or even Noah Syndergaard's personal catcher, Rene Rivera. You know, the Mets need a big splash to show that we're in business. And Steve Cohen's that guy. He really is. And I truly believe that great times are ahead. This is very reminiscent from what a lot of the older Met fans say. It's very reminiscent of the days where Nelson Doubleday bought the team. It took me a minute to think of that, but that's what it really reminiscent of in 1980, when they finally, the Payson family and Grant's tomb, they finally got rid of that stigma. They brought in Frank Cashin, and Cashin rebuilt that team in 86 to be a dominant force. You know, this is what the Mets are going to have to do. This is what's going to wind up happening. And I truly, truly believe that we are turning the page to the next chapter, and the reign of Cohen is upon us. The New York Mets are finally here to play, and this is a wake-up call for New York sports. You know, I've been ranting for the past couple years on this podcasting network that this is a down time for New York sports. No way, Jose. This is the time of the rise, and it all makes sense. Craig Carton back on WFAN. The Mets now have a new owner. The Knicks are finally getting ready to have a stable thing here. The Jets, I don't know. Maybe they're on that Trevor Lawrence train. To me, as a Met fan, this is my number one priority. And Steve Cohen's our guy. This is it. So it's now time to sing our national anthem as Met fans. Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really sucking that ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody come around to meet those METS Mets of New York town. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, the Mets are here. Mets 3.0. This has been Unfiltered. Let's go, Mets. I'm Jon Harder.